Closing Time Show. We are here. It is Saturday, August the 14th. It is the MLB Closing Time Show on Pub Sports Radio. Ian Cameron, Conor Mac, and our weekend special guest, David Sharpe Sharpie, in the house once again as we get you ready for a Saturday MLB slate. Let's get right into it. We've got the Milwaukee Brewers and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Actually, this is going to end up being a doubleheader today. First game is the first game to throw the first pitch today, 2:30 Eastern. Brett Anderson, Bryce Wilson. Obviously, this will be a 7-inning game. We've got the Brewers here, minus 210, road favorites, 7 the total in this game. The Brewers have obviously played terrific baseball. Their lineup has actually been really rolling as of late. Just ask the Chicago Cubs how it felt to be pounded by the Brewers in that series. Brett Anderson, this is a guy that was supposed to start last night. We talked a lot about him yesterday, so I won't go into too much detail, but we've talked about he's been very good since the All-Star break, really solid numbers, and he's actually dominated the Pirates in the past. Bryce Wilson has actually pitched a little bit better for Pittsburgh. I still don't think he's got a ton of upside. He's kind of a smoke and mirrors, got to get by with craftiness and guile rather than a quality, deep, solid pitching arsenal. So I think Milwaukee's probably going to get the victory here. They've dominated Pittsburgh. They've gone, 6-1 or 5-1 in the last 6 against them, and just the one loss, which they had a lead and they couldn't hold. Other than that, every Milwaukee win this year, we talked about this yesterday as well, every Milwaukee win against Pittsburgh this year has been multiple runs. 2 runs or more. So if you like Milwaukee in this game, maybe don't shy away from the run line here, which is around minus 115, minus 120 to lay the 1.5 here with Milwaukee. If I were to bet this game, that's probably where I would go. Conor Mac, what do you think here? Game 1 of this doubleheader, Brewers Pirates.
I'll be quick. I mean, it's still Anderson. I liked the Brewers yesterday. I mean, obviously it seemed like everybody did. That was just take the Brewers run line. I'm not big in these doubleheaders. This game scares me a little bit. And not that I'm really scared of Wilson here. I just don't like this morning game. They're going to play another one. Of course, I'd be on the Brewers team total. I thought yesterday that first 5 innings with Keller could have been sleepy there. But now that it's rained out, I don't like it so much here. Just the Brewers. That's all I'd take here, run line. Or maybe a team total. You could get 4.5 in a 7-inning game.
Yeah, definitely. It's been an amazing run too for Milwaukee. First 5 innings, if you've been on them and at all, the first 5 innings, they've been just almost unbeatable, in that situation. So keep an eye on that, see if it keeps going. Sharpie, did you get involved in this one?
Shout out to the chat. And yeah, I shaved, guys. It's 98 degrees in California, guys. It's hot. Had to.
Chops
and the ladies don't like it anyways. Let's be real. They want that smooth face. But here we go, guys. Yeah, they want the baby face. Hey, took 10 years off. Don't look 37 no more, huh? Hey. Yeah. But this game is the first. It's pretty much the exact identical matchup as the next game they got going on. So I'm gonna leave this game alone. Hope Milwaukee loses so I could jump on Milwaukee the second game. But yeah, it's a doubleheader, so I'm off.
Yeah, keep that in mind too. We've talked about that a lot as well. The team that loses the first game often bounces back, wins the second game. It's really been like clockwork. Crazy to see how that has happened so many times in these double headers. Cincinnati, Philadelphia, Luis Castillo, Matt Moore. We've got the Reds here, minus 135. Road favorites here, 9.5, 10 the total in this game. Luis Castillo, a guy that we thought was really turning the corner, actually has turned the corner, but last time out was not one of those starts for him against Cleveland. He got really, really smacked around, crushed in that start against the Cleveland soon-to-be Guardians in that game. They got pounded a little bit. We'll see if it's a bounce-back type of spot here for Castillo in this game. You've got Matt Moore on the other side. Certainly don't trust him, 6.79 ERA this year. The Reds lineup, we saw what they did last night, getting the victory in the first game of this series and hitting a pretty good pitcher in Zach Wheeler. Some big home runs to get them the lead early in that game. So I would certainly lean Reds, but I'm not in love with laying this price on the road with Castillo. If there's any sort of problem with Castillo again today where, that last rough start after such a brilliant stretch of baseball for him is more than just a blip, on the radar, and he ends up, struggling again today, then this game could go over the total. It's going to be 9. It's 9.5, 10. It's going to be a very warm afternoon here in Philadelphia. 87 degrees Fahrenheit, feels like 96 at first pitch. You might be able to get some runs scored if Castillo's off his game again, because I do think the Reds will get their share off of Matt Moore and that Phillies bullpen. And again, Matt Moore's not going to see a lot of innings, so you're going to see a lot of middle relief for the Phillies. And it's not middle relief, it's middle aggravation for the Philadelphia Phillies, because they don't have good pitchers in that middle relief corps. So I think there's going to be runs. I would lean in some form to the over, or maybe even Reds team total over. Maybe you can isolate that on its own. Conor Mac, what do you think here? Reds, Phillies.
Yeah, the Reds team total, it's a special today at 5.5. It might get there. They've been hitting. Big win yesterday. The problem is, you mentioned it, Castillo pitched so well. He finally, had the blow up his last start. I just can't take the price here. Like you just mentioned, Ian, I like the Reds a little bit here, but not at minus 135. But Matt Moore, he is trash. I mean, he went a third of an inning, was out right away against the Dodgers. I know the Reds, this is a difficult spot. I get it. Go right back to the Reds taking first fight, half a run, or their team total, but they've screwed me a lot. Just be cautious here, because that'd be the rush to play here, just knee-jerk reaction. So, and if Castillo's off, it will go over. But if he's on, this could stay under. I think the total's right there. It's a game I'm probably just going to be off.
Yeah, you got to love the Philadelphia Phillies when they bring in Matt Moore a couple of years ago. Yeah, what could go wrong? A guy that's been bounced around from team to team, multiple injuries, multiple surgeries. What on earth could go wrong bringing that guy in to our starting rotation? And obviously not been good again this year, Matt Moore. You got to wonder how time's got to be ticking on his MLB career. How much longer can this go on? Sharpie, what do you think here? Cincy, Philly.
Hey, I got the giggles chat because you guys keep clowning my mustache. You guys are making me laugh. I think it's funny, guys. So keep it up. Happy birthday, Jake Burns in the chat. We appreciate you. Thanks for coming, my guy. Smash that like, guys. It helps us a lot, more than you know. So smash it like I smash BBWs. I'll still melt this pretty face off for you. Here we go, though. We're on Castillo, guys. Castillo last week was against Cleveland. He did bad. If you look up against his numbers versus the AL, guys, he's just not that guy versus that team when he's on the road versus an AL team. He has a bad ERA, and his strikeouts per inning is below 1 per inning. He is not a below 1 per inning type of guy. I like Cincinnati first 5 minus a half at minus 115, and I haven't played that yet, but I like it more than the Cincinnati team total over 2.5. Because if they get 2.5, to me, I think they're over 1 run. And that the juice is better minus the half a run right now on this game.
Yeah, definitely. Could be. That could be. You always get concerned sometimes, but with the Reds at times offensively, but on paper they should hit today. But with Matt Moore's numbers being what they are, but you never know. Sometimes you get those days where it just looks so ripe for a lineup to hit someone in particular, and it doesn't always guarantee it's going to be a success by any stretch of the imagination. All right, we've got Baltimore and Boston, and the return of a guy that we have not seen pitch in a very, very long time. Of course, talking about Chris Sale, his first big league start in 2 years this afternoon against the Orioles, coming off Tommy John surgery. And look, this isn't, a little ankle situation. This isn't just a little tension or soreness in the arm. This is Tommy John surgery. So, and a first start for a guy in the big leagues since that surgery. So, if you think if you think that for a second that I am going to be laying minus 300 with Chris Sale in this spot in this start, I'm just not going to be doing that. The total is 10 here in this one. Could he go out there and dominate? Of course, he's got great stuff. But again, we need to see it. It's been a long time since he's pitched. We'll give him a benefit of the doubt in the fact that he made 5 rehab starts at AAA Worcester and pitched pretty good in those outings for the most part. 2 hits, 8 strikeouts in his last start with 4.2 scoreless innings. And his workload gradually increased. To the point where Alex Cora was saying they don't think they're going to have to manage his pitch count. They're not going to have to manage his innings workload necessarily. So he should have free reign to go as long as he needs to. But again, you're talking about in the big leagues again. And say what you, Baltimore's not a good team. I understand that. But the one thing they can do is hit the ball a little bit. So even though this is Baltimore that he's making this return against, he's still got to be on his game, if he's going to get through it and pitch well. So we'll see how it goes for him. We got Jorge Lopez for Baltimore on the other side of this pitching matchup, 5.75 ERA for him coming into this start for the Red Sox. Of course, pounded the Orioles 8-1 last night. And by the way, Kyle Schwarber, making his first appearance with the Red Sox last night. So they finally have him back in the lineup here for the Boston Red Sox, which is good to see. We'll see how it goes with Lopez, but he is coming off back-to-back games, guys, where he's off quality starts. He's pitched a little bit better. Unfortunately, 8.62 ERA in four appearances and 2 starts against Boston. So he has got roughed up by this Red Sox lineup, and you start to look at some of those numbers for the Red Sox against Lopez. We've got Devers 2 for 4, 2 home runs. Verdugo 3 for 7, 1 home run. You've got Kike Hernandez 2 for 3, JD Martinez 4 for 9 and a home run. You got some real rough numbers here for Jorge Lopez against this Red Sox lineup. So it's just one of those games where it's just way overpriced on sale in Boston, but I'm not going to be getting involved with Baltimore either in this game. So probably a game I just watch and observe. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a guy that hasn't pitched in 2 years. He's coming off Tommy John surgery. It's his first big league start. It's okay to say, I'm going to watch this game and maybe learn something for the next time Sale pitches. Nothing wrong with doing that. And that's what I'm going to do here. Connor, what do you think? Baltimore, Boston, the return of Chris Sale.
Yeah, huge price here. He's back. This is the guy they need. They didn't go make a move at the deadline for another arm. They were waiting for him to come back, and he's got to be the guy for him because they're not deep, their pitching staff. I got to kind of fade him here in his first start. I mean, it's either I'd stay off or it's tough with Lopez because he's pitched 2 okay games his last few starts. Usually it's about 2 for him and he gets rocked again. And those numbers off the Red Sox are pretty gaudy. You ran through them right there. So it's a difficult one, but first 5 is plus 250. You could probably get a half a run around 200. I think there's a stab at it. We know the Orioles hit lefties a little bit. Sale has pitched well in those few starts, those 4 starts he had in the minors, but there's no way I could lay the number with him. I just watched the game, like you said, or rolled with the dog here. And I think the game can get up and over the 10. I haven't decided if I want to do it because the Reds team total 6.5. I don't know if I want to go there, but I think the Orioles could score. So their team totals 3.5. So I'm interested in that. I just haven't bet it yet.
And I'll give our guy Jorge Lopez a little credit. He has pitched a little bit better lately. That's another thing that, gives me pause in this game just a bit, even though those long-term numbers against Boston are downright ugly for him. Sharpie, where do you stand here? Baltimore, Boston.
Guys, in this house, we are a pitcher-friendly house. My son pitches for a junior college. We love pitchers. It is fucking sale day. We've been preaching sale day for 2 weeks, guys. I've been waiting for this shit. But first of all, shout out to Kyle H. Good looking on the dono, guy. We appreciate it. We appreciate the likes, guys. 111 in here, 42 likes. Let's get that up to 100. We need to melt that face off. Let's go. But like Connor said, Sale's a minus 300, guys. I can't back that. And like Ian was saying, I don't think they let him go full reign today, guys. He's pitched 20 innings in the minor leagues, okay? He's had 35 strikeouts in those 20 innings. He's got a 1.3 ERA. He has not pitched since July 31st. So we're going on 14 days of no pitching. He pitched 5 innings, had 7 Ks in that game. So I don't see him going more than 5 today, guys. He hasn't pitched in 2 weeks. So like Ian said, kick back, relax, and enjoy some quality pitching, guys. So I'm off this game. I'm going to watch it. There is 10% chance of rain, so the game should play, guys. And Kyle's going to be at the game, bro, so enjoy it, bro. Take a couple pictures. Tag Pub Sports Radio, bro. Let us see it.
Yeah, for sure.
What's a good thing to look at potentially here is once Sale's out of the game, bet it over. Because Boston's bullpen has been a lot more shaky lately, and we know what Baltimore's bullpen is. It's a dumpster fire. So You should end up seeing some runs in the game in the second half of it. That's what I'm going to look to do, live over after see how it goes. We're getting mixed messaging. You're right, because I get a sense I don't see how he can pitch deep into this very first start. But then there's Cora saying he shouldn't have many limitations. So we'll see how it goes. Jake Kaiser, thank you for the donation. We appreciate that. A $10 donation. Kyle, of course, with the donation as well. Kyle Hintley, and I'll tell you what, he watches my hockey show, The Ice Guys, during NHL season too. So he's a very loyal guy, very loyal watcher, viewer, supporter. We appreciate that. Kyle, enjoy yourself at the Red Sox game today at Fenway. A great game to go to, obviously. Get to see Chris Sale in person in his first start back in the bigs in 2 years. Atlanta, Washington, Max Fried, Patrick Corbin, the pitching matchup here. There is a chance of rain, slight chance of rain. Possible light rain is what they're saying, so be careful here. We've got Atlanta minus 180 road favorites in this game. Or actually minus 170. Actually, some Washington money has come in. The total 9 shaded to the over in this game, and it seems like we've talked about this a lot with Max Fried against this Washington team quite a bit. What are we going to get from him? Well, going into that last start against Washington, I said, you know what? Max Fried's been roughed up repeatedly by the Nationals. Well, finally, he had a great start against them. Just 6 days ago against the Nats, Max Fried, 1 run, 7 hits, 6 innings, pitched extremely well in that game. On the other side, it was Pat Corbin. He did not pitch well in that game. Same matchup 6 days ago, Corbin versus Fried in Atlanta. This time they're in Washington, and Corbin gave up 5 runs, 5 hits, 6 innings against Atlanta in that game. Corbin's just really been bad. The last 5 starts, he's been brutal. The over has got cashed in 4 of those 5 games. That's what I'm interested in, the over a little bit. I know Fried was better in that last game against Washington 6 days ago, but it's going to be a second look in less than a week for the Nationals lineup against Fried. You know how I feel about that. That usually means an adjustment and better approach for the offense, better production and success for the offense and for the lineup. So I think we could see that. Fried's ERA on the road jumps to 5. Patrick Corbin's ERA at home is 5.34. And we've talked about how he's been really roughed up in recent starts. Last night stayed under, but it doesn't surprise me because that game got going late due to a rain delay. And they were just looking to get that game over with, and it stayed under the total 4-2. And it goes back to the point I've always said, you guys, rain delay equals under. All right. When you see a rain delay, it always equals under. I mean, they want to get the game over with. The umpire fattens up the strike zone quite a bit. And they just look to get the game done as quick as possible. So that's what we saw last night. I think we're going to see a different script tonight. Over would be the way I would go. Although I'm going to wait to see if this forecast, get more clarity on this forecast, because hour by hour at game time, they're saying possible light rain. And I don't want any part of an over if there's going to be possible light rain and maybe a delay, because we saw what happened last night in that scenario. So lean over, but haven't pulled the trigger yet. Connor, what do you think? Atlanta, Washington.
Yeah, we'll see if it holds off or not, the rain. Just 5 days ago, the numbers are great. Whether it's Duvall or Albies, all these guys hit Corbin. They got 5 off him last time. I think they get about the same and maybe get some in the bullpen. So I'd be on the Braves here. I think Fried's starting to pitch better. I don't love the minus 170 on the road. I don't really take that number. I take the team total. I know it's 5.5. It's plus 110. I look that way, the Braves, maybe the full game over 9. We know the Nats hit lefties pretty good. Can they get to Fried? Like you said, just saw him last week. So I lean over a little bit too, maybe the Braves team total here.
Yeah, and Fried, 5.94 ERA, 4 starts against Washington this season. Lifetime, 5.45 ERA for Fried against Washington. So that's why, okay, he had a great start against them 6 days ago, but the long term is he's been bashed. And we know the Nationals against lefties. We do know historically they fared better against lefty pitching. So very, very interesting here. That's why I have my doubts Fried can do it again against this lineup. We'll see. Sharpie, how do you see it? Atlanta, Washington.
I have the Nationals' first 5 team total circled at 1.5 minus 130. I haven't bet it yet, but that's what I'm looking at. I know Fried shut him down 5 days ago, but like Ian said, he just read his ERA off. He's seen this team numerous of times. This team crushes lefties. The line is based off of the starting pitcher in the bullpen, not the bats, because the better bats are the Nationals. I mean, Atlanta's 23rd OPS, 21st OPS, 23rd average versus lefties, where the Nats are 4th average, 1st OPS. 1.5 seems doable, guys. It really does, especially after getting shut down by him last week. So that's what I'm staring at kind of hard, the over 1.5 first 5 for the Nats.
That is your Sharpie special right there. He has talked about this kind of angle all the time on this show this year. The second look in a week for that lineup against the same pitcher, and how if they get shut down the first game, it's not likely, it's not always an indicator it's going to carry over and be the same in the second game. So we'll see if that does come to fruition here tonight with the Braves and Nats. We go to Detroit and Cleveland here. We do have a pitching change here, it looks like, for Cleveland. It was going to be Sam Hentges, the lefty, and I'd be pulling him too from the starting rotation if I were them. So, it was going to be him, but now it looks like they pulled back the reins on it a little bit. Now it's unknown in terms of the status of the starter tonight for Cleveland. We know it's going to be fast Willie Peralta here for the Detroit Tigers tonight in this one. We've got, it looks like the price on this one was going to be around Detroit here. It looks like in the minus 125 range. The total was going to be 10.5 with Hentges and Peralta. Again, those are the lines that it was going to be with Hentges versus Peralta. Detroit minus 125, total of 10.5. Now we're not so sure, so we'll have to wait and see. So I'll cap this from the Peralta standpoint. Not been quite as sharp lately, which we are not that shocked by, that Willie Peralta's first few starts weren't going to sustain themselves indefinitely. And 3 of his last 4 starts have been rough. He gave up 5 runs to the Royals, 6 runs to the Twins in 3.1 innings, 5 runs, 6 hits, 5 innings to Cleveland last time. So again, here's another situation. You got a team facing the same pitcher just 6 days later. We've got that here. Cleveland against Peralta. Now, Peralta was roughed up the first time. Is he better the second time, or is it more of the same? That's the question. We'll wait and see who's the pitcher for Cleveland, but I don't like the way Peralta's trending, that's for sure. So at least an over of some kind is probably the lean. If we get some kind of mediocre fringe arm on the mound for Cleveland, I'll definitely be interested probably in the over. It did go over the total last night, the game between these two teams, 7-4. I could see something similar tonight. Connor, I know we don't have the Cleveland pitcher, but thoughts on Peralta and Detroit here?
Yeah, I'll be short. Nothing really here. Peralta just pitched against him August 8th. That's what scares me. He went 5 innings, only gave up 6 hits, 2 earned runs. So yeah, maybe an over. It's if Hentges is in, maybe I'd be on the over probably. It got there yesterday with a late couple runs. It was going to be a push for me. But I'll just wait. Peralta, he had a rough patch, but his last 2 starts, I'm in Boston, he went 4 2/3 and just gave up a run. That's what he needs to do. Just get through 5. The Tigers bullpen's been better the last month. They're top 5, so they've pitched a lot better. So I lean Tigers in this one, and yeah, over.
All right, Sharpie, Cleveland, Detroit.
Hey, shout out to the chat, guys. 130 live, only 50 likes, though. Smash that likes. We got to get to 100 minimum. I got to get baked while the show's on. Come on, guys. Got to help me, help you. But this game, I see you, Jake Kaiser, about that Nationals and Braves since the trade deadline. You're saying the Braves bats are better. I just looked that up. The Braves are 28th in the league since the deadline versus lefties, and Washington.
I think he's a Braves fan, if I'm not mistaken, Jake Kaiser. So
I just had to check it up because I do know they did get rid of Turner and they did get rid of some people, but even after the trade deadline, the numbers are still better on the Washington side, guys. They are not number 1. They do drop to 8. So yes, there is some layoff, some slack. So back to this game. I didn't have a pitcher at all. If I would have seen Hentges or a lefty, I want Detroit's team total any and every time I can get it. They're the best team versus lefties. I don't want to back Peralta. Peralta's psychotic and likes to walk 50 people a game. My money doesn't want that on it. I want that team total over anytime there's a Detroit facing a lefty.
Yeah, they were really good against lefties there. Look at what John Means went through against this Detroit lineup just a few days ago. No question, they have been mashing lefty pitching. That's why that's another reason to pull Hentges. Get him. He's a lefty, and I don't know if you want this Detroit team facing a pitcher that's been, a team that's mashing lefties. You're going to throw a lefty out there. So we'll see what Cleveland ends up doing with their starter there. But I'm definitely looking at some form. The full game over, and like Sharpie said, maybe the Detroit team total over specifically as well. Zach Davies and a battle of Zach here. Zachary, the Zachary Bowl, Zach Davies and Zach Thompson on the mound here. Cubs and Marlins. Marlins minus 150, home favorites at Marlin Park, 7.5 the total in this one. I believe our guy Conor Mac liked a certain over last night between these two teams, and that's about as easy as it gets right there. It was an awful night for both of the starting pitchers. Adbert Alzolay was dreadful, and equally bad the Marlins starting pitcher as well. So very, very bad night all around. The bullpen gave up runs late. Ended up being, I think, 14-10, like a football score. It's like Bears versus Dolphins last night in that game between Chicago and Miami. Will there be runs? I'm kind of leaning runs again today, but specifically Miami runs. I mean, Zach Davies, there's some pitchers on this Cubs team that have been so bad the last few starts. Jake Arrieta, this guy, Zach Davies, where it's like, do you guys just not give a shit anymore? Are you just quitting out there on the mound? Because how can you be that bad? How can Jake Arrieta be as bad as he's been the last few starts? How can Zach Davies go from dominating for a period of time midway through the season to now being this bad 2 starts in a row? I mean, it's been absolutely brutal for him. 7 runs, 4 innings to the Rockies, 7 runs, 2 innings to the White Sox last Sunday night. And he struggled before that. 4 runs, 7 hits, 6 innings against the Reds. He's just been on a ridiculous downward trajectory as of late. So when you look at it here, the Cubs are just having a tough time. We know it. They've lost 9 straight games. They are not a team that is pitching any good. Doesn't matter if it's starters. Doesn't matter if it's bullpen. It's a group that's not pitching well at all. And because it's the Marlins, guys, the team total is it's actually, I was hoping for 3.5, 4.5. It's 4.5 with Jude, with very
plus
nice
money,
plus
115.
Even though it's 4.5, you got a really nice plus price there. So that's not bad actually. Mr. Bubbles is pointing to it, and it's the thing I saw as well earlier this morning when I first looked at this game was Marlins team total over. I'd rather do that than Thompson's been a little bit spotty lately. The bullpens were exhausted last night. I just don't want to put myself in a spot where I'm on Miami and maybe that game gets interesting late because of an exhausted bullpen, which Miami does have right now. So you take that element out of it by looking at the team total. So if I were to get involved in this game, that's what it would be. Marlin team total over 4.5. And again, as Connor mentioned, plus 115. Very nice price there. Connor, what do you think here? Cubs, Marlins?
That's where I'm at in this game. I don't want to lay the money with the Marlins and like run line. They're the home team. You might not get that other at bat. It's plus 130 though. And I lean the full game over 7.5. But you know, after a huge game with a bunch of runs, sometimes we see an under. Bit me in the ass plenty of times over the years. But Davies has been bad. You mentioned the last 2 starts, August 8th and 3rd, 7 earned runs. And I go back to June 18th. At home against Miami, they put an 8 spot on him, Zach Davies. So they know this guy. And Thompson, I just saw him in San Diego. His stuff's okay. He's got to keep the ball down. If he leaves it up, he'll get hit. He's going about 5 innings. So yeah, I lean the over 7.5. I think it's light again. I mean, you see 7.5, you should be better pitchers in this. We talked about it yesterday. There's no names in these lineups. You don't know too many of these guys' names. But the Marlins have been swinging it a little bit better lately. So, yes, I'm on the team total over 4.5, and I'd lean the full game over 7.5.
All right. Yeah, I like the team total more than the full game just because Thompson shut down the Cubs when he faced them earlier this year. And Thompson's good at home, 2.45 ERA at Marlins Park. He shut down the Yankees in this ballpark. He shut down San Diego in this ballpark. He shut down Atlanta in this ballpark. So he's faced some decent offenses in this stadium and done well. So that's the concern, that Thompson maybe comes in here, pitches well. That's why I'm isolating the Miami team total instead. Sharpie, what do you like here?
Hey, shout out to Big Show, controlling the 1s and 2s, got the chat under control. Let's go. We got 22 likes in that 5-minute period, guys. You guys rock. Smash it if you haven't. Share it if you haven't, because I want to melt. And we're on to this game. Here we go. If you like the 7.5, grab it now. My book's already at an 8, so it's going to move. It's on its way there. I'm off this game. It's a Miami first 5, Miami full game type of game. I just can't put my money on Miami right now. They're just not that team I want to back. But Thompson's a better pitcher. They have the better bats. They have the better bullpen. It's hands down Miami or nothing.
All right, we have Oakland and Texas next up. James Caprillion on the mound against Jordan Lyles. We've got the Athletics here, -1, or actually was -190, and now I'm looking it's -215 to -220. Road favorites here for Oakland, 9 the total, shaded to the under in this game. I'm just going to go ahead, keep it simple. -0.5 run, first 5 innings, Oakland Athletics, around -135 here. No need to overcomplicate it. If you're not embarrassed losing to Texas like they did last night, one of the worst teams in baseball, you're trying to nail down a wild card spot, you got to show up and respond today. I think Oakland will do that. Caprillion's been, he's not been lights out, but he's been solid. He actually has been, for the most part, rock steady. Most starts for Oakland, 3.22 ERA overall this year. Jordan Lyles, we know what he's all about, 5.46 ERA. It's been a rough year for him. Not all that shocking. Oakland -0.5 run, first 5. And I like the spot for Oakland as well. Coming off a loss to Texas, I'm sure that's something that's frustrating. When you lose games at this time, when you need wins at this time of year and you're losing to last place teams, that bothers you. That sticks in your craw a little bit. I think Oakland will show up tonight, get their bats going. Caprillion will do enough to keep Texas neutralized. So I like the Oakland side, first 5, -0.5. Around -130 to -140. Conor Mac, what do you think here, Oakland, Texas?
Yeah, Sharpie talked about it. This is all he pitches against, Caprillion against the Rangers. Man, it's a big number. You think they bounce back, but on the road, I wouldn't touch it here. Lyles, just August 8th, just a few days ago, he got rocked by these A's. He gave up 10 hits, 6 earned runs, but he has had, this is his 3rd or 4th start. What was it? July 9th, he went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs to the A's. June 22nd, 6 innings, 2 runs. But lately, he's been pretty roughed up, Lyles. I can't take the Rangers. I think they got their big win yesterday. They're tempting. I just can't trust the sticks with them. If I could trust a little more, I might take them in a dog roll. But I think the A's, instead of taking this number or run line, even first 5, if they hit, they got to hit Lyles. So I'd lean their team total. I know it's 5.5. But it's at even money. I think it could get there today.
All right, Sharpie. Oakland, Texas. James Caprillion facing Texas for the rest of his career, apparently.
Man, when I was writing down these numbers last night, I was like, no way can I bet Caprillion. I want to bet Caprillion. I want to take the Oakland A's. But this is his 5th game in 8 games versus the same team. Like, I don't care how good you are, how shitty they are. 5 and 8 games has me running as far as possible, especially at -200, guys. A's have the better bullpen. They have the number 1 bullpen in the last 30 days. It's just a stay off completely for me. And I could totally see the over with how much that they've seen each other. I could see Caprillion getting hit today, and he is coming off of arm fatigue, and his last 2 games hasn't been as dominant as he was coming up through the year. My Rookie of the Year ticket ain't looking any good anymore. So Caprillion is looking like he hit that rookie wall to me, guys. His last 2 games have been shaky.
All right. Next up here, we've got Milwaukee and Pittsburgh. This is the second game of the doubleheader. This one's going to be played tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern time at PNC Park. We've got Milwaukee. Right now, it looks like they're around -195 road favorites, 7.5 the total. Aaron Ashby on the mound for the Brewers, Mitch Keller for the Pirates. Ashby, of course, was sent down to the minors earlier this month. Now he's back up, and he is going to start the second game of this doubleheader. Of course, we remember the rough go he had in the one start he made earlier this year against the Cubs. It was 4 runs, 6 hits, 2.2 innings. I mean, it was rough for him in that start for him against the Cubs earlier this year. I don't know. I've got to see more of Aaron Ashby at the major league level. I mean, the one memory we have of him at the major league level earlier this year was a disaster for him. On the flip side, speaking of disasters, we got Mitch Keller on the mound for Pittsburgh. He's had a rough year. I'm very interested in the over in this game. Again, we'll wait and see what the first game does. I like Milwaukee a little, the run line in the first game. Second game, lean to the over. I could only touch Milwaukee because there's just such a gap between these 2 teams right now. But I'm not laying that price with Ashby. We just haven't seen enough. And the one time we did see him start at the major league level, it was a terrible outing for Ashby. So maybe I get there with the over in the second game of this doubleheader. But again, we'll wait till the first game finishes. We'll look at the lineups, and then maybe I'll pull the trigger. We'll see. Connor, I know doubleheader's not your thing, but any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, nothing here for me. I'd wait till the first one and look, but I'd be leery. If Brewers lose game one, maybe, this is one to look at, but Ashby at minus 200, yeah, I just wouldn't want to touch it at all. Seems tricky to me, and I don't love these doubleheaders, so I'm off.
And I think Sharpie won't have much on it, but I know he's going to be looking, I believe, to back the loser of the first game, especially if it's Milwaukee. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm going to. It all depends, though. It depends. Is Hader used? It all depends.
Oh, yeah.
First game means a lot, guys. It depends on which bullpen pieces are going to be used, how they hit. Do they score 7? Because then they're going to put a crappy lineup out, knowing that they've already got the first win and they could rest some players. You got to watch the first game if you want to bet the second game. You can't blindly bet the second game, guys. And Ashby as a minus 200, like Connor said, is psychotic. Like psychotic. No.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Mitch Keller, not good year for him either. Yankees and White Sox. And this time they are moving back. No, not in the cornfields tonight. They're moving back to Chicago, the Windy City, a guaranteed rate field for the second game of this series. Jameson Taillon, Dylan Cease, the pitching matchup. White Sox here, home favorites around minus 140 in this one, 8.5 the total in this game. We need to give Taillon a little respect, a little credit. He has definitely pitched better for this Yankees team of late. Let's give him his due. I like the way he's been throwing the ball here. I think this could be a Yankee first 5 full game split for me. I mean, I haven't usually looked to bet against the White Sox at home very often. We know they've done very well on this field this year. I get it. 39-20. That's a great home field advantage. But I really like the turnaround in Jameson Taillon's game. He has now gone, it looks like 7 straight starts, 1, 2, 0, 3, 0, 3, 1. 3 runs or less now in 7 straight starts. How about this Yankees record? They are now 8-1 in Taillon's last 9 starts. So he's been absolutely terrific. He shut down the White Sox when he faced them back in May. 5 innings of shutout ball. I think there's a live underdog here potentially. Cease has been good too. Don't get me wrong. 2.2 ERA at home, especially good here. But the last 3 starts for him, we'll see how it goes. There's been some bumps in the road. He gave up, 3 runs in 3 straight starts there early last month in the middle of July. We'll have to wait and see. He's obviously a good pitcher. He's got a good Chicago team behind him, but Taillon in very good form. I'm at least considering it here. Yankees here, first 5 and full game split. Conor Mac, what do you think here? Yankees, White Sox.
Yeah, Jake, I know. If you got it last night, good job on the 5. That's what I need in this one for the first 5. I leaned a little bit under, but it's 4.5 minus 105. So I'm off it. Taillon's been good, like you talked about, a lot better than he was earlier on in the year. Cease is just, to me, he's good. He struck out a ton the last couple starts, and he can hit 10, seems like every time he pitches. But he usually gives up some runs. It's not a game that I love. I'd lean the White Sox a little bit at home, small favorite, but I'm going to stay off this one.
All right, nothing wrong with that. Sharpie, what do you like here? Yankees, White Sox.
Man, I like White Sox first 5 a lot here, guys. This is Cease and Taillon. I know Taillon's been good, and usually when I hear 2 cappers banging on 2 different pitchers and liking them, that's an under spot. Under all the way, first 5. And when I seen Jake with the 5, I was already circling the 4.5 when I heard Ian breaking it down, and then 5. I can't bet the 4.5, but great bet on that 5, bro. I like it a lot, actually. Like, wish I had it in my pocket. These teams are both not hitting, guys. 27th, 28th averages versus righties. OPS is right around the same, 21, 23. It's just, who do you like better? Pick your pitcher and ride with him. And I think the White Sox bats are a little more hotter. Since Jimenez has came back, this team is jumping. They're popping. The swag is moving. They know they're going to the playoffs. They're not fighting for a playoff spot. They know they're going to the playoffs. So I lean White Sox first 5. Haven't bet it. Seeing money keeps coming in on the Yankees. It's dropped 10 cents since I looked at it this morning. So I might just let it keep going and then get a better shot on the White Sox first 5.
Yeah, this is interesting.
That Sox lineup's back. It's making me feel better. And at home, they're better at home. So, yeah, that'd be my lean.
Hey, in the chat, we 16 likes away from that hundo. Good looking. Smash it like I smash BBWs. If it ain't 350, no need to see the titty.
I love it. That was just I love the liners. The liners will just kill me every time. I love it. Hit the like button. We appreciate that. 175 live viewers. We appreciate that for sure. Keep on hitting the like button. And thanks for joining us. Absolutely. On this edition of the MLB Closing Time Show for a weekend. We got St. Louis and Kansas City next up here. I got like 4 or 5 bets on this one game. We've got John Lester and Brad Keller on the mound here. We got even money on both sides pretty much here at Kauffman Stadium, -110. The total is 10 right across the board in this one. This is my favorite human pinata right now, John Lester. I mean, we've just been going against him start in and start out lately with incredible success. Why not? He's absolutely awful. What can you say? Since June 25th, 7 runs allowed, 5 runs allowed, 5 runs allowed, 8 runs allowed. I don't know how he shut out Miami in 7 innings, but that's the anomaly because after that, 3 runs, 5 innings, 6 runs, 5 innings, 5 runs, 5.1 innings. John Lester's just what he is right here. Not very good right now. The Royals should be able to do some damage. Hell, the Royals did damage against him the last time, and I was on Kansas City when Lester faced them at Busch Stadium last weekend. Now, I know this Royals lineup can sometimes be a little bit spotty, but last 10 games, they got better numbers, better runs per game, better batting average against lefties. I think that continues here. Brad Keller's been better of late. He got roughed up a little by St. Louis when he faced them back on August 7th. Didn't face St. Louis the same game that Lester faced Kansas City. It was the day before for Keller. Gave up 5 runs, 7 hits in 5 innings. But prior to that, he had been pitching a lot better. He'd given up 2-1, 3-1, 3 in 5 consecutive starts. We'll see how this goes. But I like Kansas City here. First 5 full game split. I like the Royals team total over because I've been on these team totals against Lester for a while. It's 4.5 -120 for that Royals team total. I like the game over the total too because the one thing about Keller is I'm not completely sold on him shutting down St. Louis entirely, and his home ERA is still not very good. So when I said I had like 5 bets on this game, this one game, I wasn't kidding. Kansas City first 5, Kansas City full game, Kansas City team total, and the full game over. So 4 bets I got on this game. And I might add a home run prop or 2, like Sal Perez. Yeah, definitely. That would be something I would be looking at for sure. There's no doubt about that. Sal Perez could be able to do some damage off Lester. I wouldn't argue with that. Arenado does have a home run against Keller, so keep that in mind. But I like Kansas City. I think they prevail in like a 7-5, type of game. I think it'll be high scoring, but Kansas City just punches out a few extra runs against a hapless John Lester right now to get it done. Conor Mac, what do you think here? St. Louis, Kansas City.
Yeah, Lester, every time seems like he goes out, he's good for 5 or 6. I think Keller's not any good. He pitched that game against Toronto. He went out with a tweak back, and then he threw that game against the Cardinals. 5 innings, 5 runs. He talked about 5 walks. That's been his problem the whole time, all year long. And now he's got a back kind of messed up. I like the over because I like both team totals. I think they could get there. So just give me the over 10 here. I think we see runs today. It's a nice day. Kansas City, so I'll just stick to the over. And either team could win here. I really don't want to favor the Royals too much. They have been hitting lefties better, and Lester isn't very good, but I don't think Keller is very good either. So just give me the over here.
Wind is blowing in tonight at Kansas City. That might be the only thing that helps these two pitchers, and Lester in particular.
Yeah, but
Sharpie, what do you think here? Cards and Royals.
I think we 6 likes away from getting blitzed like the old freaking Sega game. Sega! Here we go, though.
How about the old sound effect for the Sega game? Sega! That's going way back in time. Have you heard
that? Here we go. We are on. I know St. Louis. I don't know them versus righties, though. Versus lefties, I've got this team down to a T. When they go up against lefties, I'm money on the bank with them. Was on their team total again yesterday versus Minor.
And got
there. Hey,
I know.
Woof.
They got
both of them. First 5 and the full game cashed. Barely, but it got there. So I'll take it. Usually versus a crappy lefty, guys, they get 3 through 5 every damn time. You could count it. But we're versus a righty here. And we're versus not a good righty. And as Connor was talking, he was saying that Keller's problem is his walking. So I went and checked up some stats. St. Louis is 4th best at walking since the All-Star break, guys. That's a no-no for Keller. I like the Cardinals team total over 2.5 or the full first 5 over 5.5. But I really like Keller getting lit up. I know Lester should get lit up, but there's every once in a while that dude comes out with a Cy Young performance and takes money out my pocket. I see Keller getting hit. The numbers say Keller's get hit. So I like St. Louis over 2.5 first 5. And we had 102. So let's fucking go.
There we go. 185 live viewers. We appreciate it. Hit that like button if you haven't already. We definitely appreciate all the support. And hopefully this isn't the night for Lester to turn back time, share style. But if it is and he pitches well, so be it. We've cashed a lot lately fading him. So if he gets me tonight, I'll survive. We got
an American
Tampa Bay
League lineup, Ian. So I don't think he gets through it. It's not like he gets a break.
No, exactly. And the Royals, the Royals are weird. They've got the potential to crush any pitcher because their lineup's pretty. But then there's some nights where they're like, "What the hell? They got shut down by this guy." But Merrifield, Santana, Sal Perez, Benintendi, Hunter. They got some. Nicky Lopez has hit better lately, so they got some bats in that lineup. Hopefully, they strike tonight. Michael Waka Flocka Flame on the mound for the Rays. Kenta Maeda for the Twins. Tampa Bay, Minnesota. We've got Tampa Bay. Pretty much even money here with Minnesota. The total in this one is 10, 9.5 in some spots. I'm very, very tempted by, even though Michael Waka is not someone I really am interested in backing necessarily. I mean, he's been roughed up, lately. Last start was rough for him. 5.49 ERA on the year. And look at 5 runs, 10 hits. In 5 innings in that game against Baltimore on Sunday. So he really struggled. And 5 starts since the All-Star break. Michael Waka's got a 7 ERA. All right? I understand all of that. But we're talking one of the best teams in baseball here. Okay? Tampa Bay, even money against the Minnesota Twins. So, yeah, I understand there's issues to trusting Waka here. But from a price standpoint, how on earth could you say that there's value fading Waka here? I mean, this is the best team, one of the best teams in baseball, and they're even money here against the Minnesota Twins. So that's the issue in this game. Like, to me, this smells bad. This looks bad. It feels like it's bad. Like, it feels like that kind of game where if you take Tampa Bay, Minnesota will find a way to win. But at the same point in time, there's no value here to go against Watt. Like, Tampa Bay is just so much better. I was on Ray's run line last night. They crushed Minnesota in that game. And Maeda, look, I know Maeda's been a little bit better lately, but he's still erratic, been sporadic all year, 4.69 ERA on the season. So it's probably a game I'm going to pass when it's all said and done all around. But I'm just saying that you have to take a step back, and it's just, whoa, when you first see the line, it's like, whoa. This is one of the best teams in baseball. They're even money here against the Minnesota Twins, who are what? Yeah, 16 games below 500. It's just got that sense, though, that it's that game. It's a pitcher that's struggling mightily. I get it. And it feels like, to me, I'm really tempted by Tampa. I'll say that right now. I mean, there's just such a gap and a difference between these two teams right now. However, Waka, as I said, 7 ERA since the All-Star break. He has been a mess. So, probably going to end up passing, but man, I was tempted. Even with Waka on the mound, I was very much tempted at this price by Tampa Bay. Conor Mac, what do you think here, Rays and Twins?
Yep, I'm right with you. You got to back Waka. That's the whole thing, but just no way can I back the Twins and Maeda. But it's just a difficult one. Waka's just gotten ripped. Seattle and Baltimore, those last 2 starts, 6 and 5. And it's been bad. It's been early. He's given up those runs right away. But the Rays are the better team, and they've got the better bats lately. So they could win an 8-6 game. I'd lean a little bit over. But, yeah, if I had to take a side, it'd only be the Rays. It'd be Rays or pass. I wouldn't take the Twins here at all. I don't know if I'm going to bet it. I've been on the Rays and all their wins lately, so I don't know if I'm going to play this one or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's you just see Tampa Bay's -110 against Minnesota, and my first thought was, how do I not bet that? And then, of course, you look into it more, and it's Walker on the mound, and it's been brutal since the All-Star break. But man, this price is still a little shocking. What do you think, Sharpie? Rays Twins.
I definitely can understand it. Maeda is the better pitcher, guys, hands down. That's why it's there. I don't understand the full game line though. We have big drastic bullpens. Shout out to Don't Ask, Don't Tell, the motherfucking man, the myth, the legend. Ha! PSR's baseball show is Money in the Bank. Great job, fellas, and thanks for the show. Shout out my guy.
Shout out. Don't ask.
Don't ask, don't tell. Ha! But you can tell us. Yeah. Here we go, though.
Most days.
Both days, yeah. Or fade me. Either way. One way you're gonna make money. You just gotta figure it out for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not you figure You figure it out. But I understand it. I really want to watch the game, and hopefully Twins go down and live bet the way better bullpen guys. You can tell by the guys Tampa Bay pulls out in their bullpen if they really want to win the game. If they got a 2 ERA, bet them. If they're pulling out guys with a 4, they're forfeiting the game. So you can see as the manager is calling the game how it's going to go, guys. So I'm going to be watching that game very intently.
All right, good stuff. Thank you, Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Thank you very much for the dono. We appreciate that. Great stuff. 200 live viewers now in the chat. Hit the like button if you haven't already. We'll say that again. We definitely appreciate that and all the support. We've got the LA Dodgers now and the New York Mets, one of the highlight games on the schedule here today. Walker Buehler on the mound for the LA Dodgers. Taijuan Walker on the mound for the Mets. We've got the LA Dodgers here, -185 road favorites at Citi Field, 8.5 the total here in this game. Got a little hairy, got a little scary for the Dodgers last night, but they prevail 6-5 against the Mets last night. More bullpen, issues later in the game for the Dodgers last night, but they hang on to get the win as the Mets fall to the Dodgers. And look, we talked about this yesterday, Connor and I. The Mets are maybe going to rue the day that they went on that bad losing streak just recently, because they did that against some beatable teams. And now you're going to face the Dodgers a bunch. They're going to have to go to Dodger Stadium as well to play the Mets, or to play the Dodgers pretty soon, the Mets. Then they got to play the Giants for a series or two. You got to play, or the one series, I should say. You got to play the Yankees again later this year. They have a very, very tough schedule down the stretch. And this is where I get concerned about the Mets' chances of winning the NL East based on the schedule. It's going to be really tough from here till the end of the year. Walker Buehler, he's just remarkably consistent. Just gives the Dodgers a chance to win every single time. Simple as that. I mean, he's on a great stretch now. 6 straight starts, 0-2-1, 0-1-1. He's given up 2 runs or less in his last 6 starts. 5 runs total allowed by Walker Buehler in a span that now is at 39 or 40 innings. And we're talking about a guy that's given up 4 runs in 39, 40 innings pitched. He's just been outstanding. Walker Buehler, he is the ace of this team without a doubt. And I think he's going to have a good outing here. The Mets can't hit mediocre pitching some days. How are they going to hit Walker Buehler right now? That's the question. Taijuan Walker for the Mets. We talked about this. He has not been the same since. You can track it right back to the All-Star break. He has been not the same pitcher at all since the break. 6 runs, 6 runs, 5 runs, 4 runs, 3 runs. Struggling mightily. And look, he's facing the Phillies, the Marlins, the Braves, the Pirates, and some of these weak lineups are, really having success against him. The only really good lineups he's faced since the break during that rough stretch were the Blue Jays, in terms of really top flight lineups, and they really got to him. What could the Dodgers do today against Walker, who has just lost his confidence, lost his mojo? That is a scary thing to think about. I was on the Dodgers first 5, -0.5 a run last night, and that is the exact same bet I'm coming back to here tonight. Dodgers first 5, -0.5, which is around -135. I just think, Buehler versus Walker, leave the bullpens out of it. We did see bullpen shenanigans for the Dodgers last night. Don't worry about that. Take the first 5. That's what I'm doing. Conor Mac, what do you like here, Dodgers and Mets?
Yeah, you just said everything I was going to say. I was on it last night. I'm on it today again. Walker without his sticky stuff, he just doesn't seem right since the All-Star break. The Dodgers have hit Walker in the past. Seager's 4 for 13 with a homer. Turner 3-11 a homer. Pujols 3 for 13 a homer. Bellinger 4 for 11 with a homer. They rip him. Take the Dodgers. Yeah, I'm on it again. First 5 half a run, -135. That way you don't got to deal with the bullpens or full game. And that's it.
All right. And we know the king of the Taiwan Walker has some serious issues right now. Parade has been Sharpie. What do you think here? Dodgers, Mets.
Man, I don't know how you guys didn't say my bet before me, but you read out all his numbers. Dodgers team total first 5 over 2.5. Has he not given up 3 or more his last 5 starts? Like, what are we overthinking here, guys? Like, take it to the bank. I bet it last night, and I love it. Like, it's probably would be my best bet, but you got to go with the K prop for the fellas for the best bet. But I mean, that was my favorite bet last night. Me and Platinum Paul were in the Discord just watering over Walker. I was like, oh my goodness. I was hoping the Dodgers didn't score more than 6, because if they score more than 6, they don't score the next day. So we hit that number to where they'll still come back to hit. So chat, you guys be smashing it, guys. 116 likes. Let's get to that 150, guys. I'm trying to get double baked, 4 times face melted off. Need that 3rd surgery. The nose is still crooked.
Exactly. We need the Michael Jackson work done for Sharpie. Michael Johnson was a freaking a sprinter for the U.S. way back in the day. Getting them mixed up now. What happened to Sharpie there? There's an insect in your
Michael Jackson. He's back.
Oh, there you go. Okay. There you go. You're doing your Michael Jackson. Yeah, I'm asleep this morning. Very good.
My whole house is awake now. It's 9:00 over here.
It actually also sounded like Mrs. Doubtfire screaming when Robin Williams was in that movie a little bit. I remember that. Yeah, when she's got her titties on fire. I remember that. That movie's classic. Poor guy, Robin Williams. Lost him too soon. All right, San Diego and Arizona. We got Joe Musgrove, Tyler Gilbert, the pitching matchup in this one. San Diego -200 road favorites here in this one. The total right now is pretty much 9 across the board. You want to go ahead and lay -200 on the road with this Padres team. Go ahead. Knock yourself out, as Jadakiss would say. I'm not doing that. Not a chance. Team that's struggling right now. 3 losses in a row. They get drubbed by the Marlins. They have lost 15-5 in the first 2 games of this series against Arizona. Look, they can't win with they got some of their better pitchers on the mound the first 2 games of this series, Darvish and Snell, and they still can't beat this Arizona team first 2 games of this series. Now Musgrove on the mound, 2.81 ERA. He's been good. I understand that. Really good in his last 3 starts. He's given up just 2 runs in 19 innings over his last 3 starts. Maybe this is the guy that can get San Diego back on the winning track, but I'm not so sure with the Padres bats kind of underachieving right now. He did shut down the Diamondbacks back in April. 6 innings, a shutout ball for Musgrove against them. We'll see if he can keep that up today. Tyler Gilbert on the mound for the Arizona Diamondbacks here in this game. He's a guy that's 27 years old. He joined the club in early August. He's been coming out of the bullpen. He started the year in AAA Reno, and he's been in the bullpen where he's pitched 3.2 innings without giving up a run. So that's good stuff there. But when we're talking long-term upside here for Tyler Gilbert, probably not. He was drafted in the 6th round way back in 2015. He's 27 years old right now, but he's been good out of the bullpen since he's been up with Arizona. And right now, San Diego's just struggling at the plate. So could he keep this team in check? Potentially. Makes me think first 5 under, potentially. If Gilbert can neutralize what's a bit of a struggling lineup right now, like the Padres are, I think Musgrove is good enough to at least hold Arizona down early in the game. So if I were to get involved, I'd actually go first 5 under here with the Padres and the Diamondbacks. Connor, what's your thoughts here? San Diego, Arizona.
Shout out to Kevin DeFreitas. Man, for the dono, $13.99. We appreciate it, man. We appreciate the support.
Thank you,
all
Kevin.
The donos. Hell yeah. Hit the like button, everybody. Thank you. Yeah, the Padres are a no-go for me at this price. I was on the D-backs. The over obviously didn't get there, but I had a piece of them last night. I wouldn't lay with Musgrove. He's pitched pretty good lately in his last start at home that I watched. But Tyler Gilbert, this guy's just okay in AAA. I've gone through his numbers. The Padres should hit him. I just don't love this game too much here. I might live it over, depending on if Gilbert gets hit. It's a game I'm going to stay away from. But I'd be on the D-backs. If I had a free bet, give me them.
All right, Sharpie, what do you think here? The Diamondbacks and the Padres. It's time to start worrying if you're a Padre fan right now. This ain't good right now, what we're seeing from them.
Shout out to Brotato in the chat. I called this at the All-Star break, guys. Thank me later. Hope you faded the Padres and bet their team total down. But I said they weren't going to make the playoffs, and they're trending that way, guys. They're trending. I'm against Connor right here. I think this is a Padres get-right spot. Gilbert's not going more than 2 innings, and you got that nasty Arizona bullpen, guys. You know Musgrove, even on a bad day, is only going to give up 3, but will go 5-6 innings. So Padres have the better bullpen. I lean Musgrove run line -1. I think it's -115. It's still a little juicy, but I think the Padres get right here, guys, and they might get the over on themselves versus this bullpen.
Yeah, they better watch out, San Diego, because Cincinnati Reds are now 2.5 behind them for that second wild card spot. The Reds are charging, and the Reds are playing better ball right now than the Padres.
Ian, you want to do the 7th inning stretch since we have one night game?
Yeah, we're going to do it right now because we got the There we go. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah, we're going to do because there's 3 West Coast games. Oh, that feels so much better every time I do that, man.
Well, that was a West Coast
joints
game.
All loosened. Yeah, it was, but it's usually I stay for like California.
Yeah, they don't count. That's Dodgers South.
Yeah, the Pacific time zone games is usually when I start the stretch. So we got 3 games left: San Fran, in Angel Stadium, and then in Seattle. So 3 games left to break down. Shout out to everybody in the chat. It's always a massive gathering in the chat on a Saturday here. Mr. Bubbles, Renee, Tato, not applicable, Abel Alvarez, Damon, Sean Thompson, Alex Johnson, Michael Buelna, Michael Robertson, Tune In TV1, Solat Media, Don't Ask, Don't Tell with the donation, of course. Thank you very much. Mark Schillingberg, 586 Soldier, Trey Doug, keep on going here. Not applicable, Puzzler. We had Kyle Hintley in earlier, of course, in the chat. Platinum Paul, Jake Kaiser, who's always with us. We appreciate him. Danzo, Bill McDonald, Life of VP Explorer, MMA Locker Room, Barry Smith, Renee. We already mentioned Renee. Let's see who else I haven't mentioned. Eric Thomas, Ricky is in the chat. Ricky Levine, Mike M, Fat Wally, Taj Lang Bailey, Lane Allen. We appreciate all of you guys in the chat for joining us. And I'll give you some NFL preseason thoughts at the end of the show, just briefly. I'll just rapid fire through the 3 or 4 bets I made on the preseason NFL board today at the end of the show. We'll do that as well. But thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. We appreciate that for sure. Let's keep it going. We've got Colorado and San Francisco. Kyle Freeland for the Rockies, Sammy for the San Francisco Giants. We've got the Giants -210, home favorites, 8.5 the total in this game. Giants are will not fade this team at home right now. I like Freeland too. Don't get me. Freeland's been pretty good. He's been one of the better pitchers for Colorado lately, but I'm just not going against San Fran right now. Their lineup is smashing. The Rockies pitching staff has been crushed in the first 2 games. Doesn't matter if it's been Marquez, one of their better pitchers, or Gomber last night. The Giants did damage against both of them. Giants are just rolling right now. I'm not going against this squad. Sammy Long, we'll have to wait and see, though. 5.81 ERA, pitching in a starting spot start role here for them tonight. See how it goes. But right now, I'm just not interested in going against the Giants. It's a pass for me. I won't be involved in the game, but definitely San Fran playing well. The only concern is Freeland's been solid, but it hasn't mattered. in the first 2 games. Colorado's hit pitchers that have been good at times this year for Colorado, especially Marquez. And that's why, even though Freeland's been in better form, I'm just not going against this momentum and this team right now, and the karma and the good vibes and the strong play that we're seeing night in and night out from this Giants team. Give them credit. Just a great season for them, and it continues. Conor Mac, what do you think? Colorado, San Francisco.
Yeah, Giants laying a pretty big number with Long. I know Freeland's pitched pretty well this year, but his last few starts haven't been that good. These Giants have good numbers against it. I'll just stick to it. Giants team total over 4.5, -120. Don't mess with the run line. It got you last night if you're on the Giants. So just stick with the team total. They got good numbers off Freeland if you run through the Giants hitters. So I'm just going to stick with that. And I think the over could get there. Still kind of blowing out. And Long might give up some runs. If the Rockies can score, they really push it. You got to score 4 runs on the road. If they're at home, they can give you 8 or 10. But I think this one could get over 8.5 as well at even money. Or 8. There's probably 8s out there. And it's moved to 8.5.
Yeah, this game could get over the total. It might, because Sammy Long has a 5.81 ERA this year. It's not been a great year. Maybe the Rockies can hit lefties at times, so maybe the game could go over that number. What do you think here, Sharpie? Rockies, Giants.
I get all excited like a kid when I see numbers like this, guys. Colorado smashes lefties. They're 7th average, 7th OPS since the All-Star break. It's been 30 days since the All-Star break. Over 4.5. Let's go. Like Connor said, he's already on the Giants team total. They've got great numbers versus Freeland. Giants do not hit lefties by the numbers, but they've proven that not by the numbers, if they've got good stats, that they still hit the guy. So I'm going to keep going with that. Giants are hitting, and I see both pitchers giving up runs. 4.5 seems kind of easy to me right here, guys. So I love the over 4.5. We're at 224 live, guys. 26 likes away from me smoking the rest of this. There's like 0.4 in there, guys. Whoa!
Woo.
There we go. All right. Liking the first 5 over in this one, Sharpie, with the Rockies and the Giants. First 5 over 4.5. We got the Astros and the Angels now. Luis Garcia and Jaime Barria for the Angels. Houston -150 road favorites. Actually, I'm just sorry, -210 road favorites. -200 to -210 they are in this game. 9.5 the total, shaded to the under. Barria has actually pitched relatively all right, in 3 starts in this rotation for the Angels. And I did not expect that, but he's gone 19.2 innings and given up just 5 runs. And the Angels have won 2 of those 3 games. And the one game they didn't was against the Dodgers, one of the best teams in baseball. So we'll see how he fares here against the Astros. Astros have seen him a lot the last a couple of years ago. He faced them 3 times. 2018, he faced them 4 times. Been a mixed bag for Barria against them. We'll see how he pitches tonight. Garcia on the mound for the Astros. Much better start from him after a couple of rough outings against Seattle and San Fran. Bounced back against Minnesota. Shut them out in 6 innings in that game. I just don't have a strong feel for this game. I mean, I think Garcia on paper should pitch relatively well here. He pitched pretty decently against the Angels the 2 times he faced them earlier this year. Yet didn't win either game because the bullpen came in and gave up runs after that in both games. So I'm not rushing to lay this price with Houston on the road, but I'm not backing Barria either. So it's a pass for me. Not much here for me on this one. Not a strong opinion either. Conor Mac, what do you think? Houston, LA Angels.
Yeah, I can't take the Angels in the lineup here. We'll see with Garcia on the road, though. He could give up some runs. This one could get over. The Astros have good numbers against Barria. They've seen him. They got our guy Max is Jose Altuve, the biggest cheater, second baseman. 6 for 15 with a homer. Correa's got 2 homers off him. Tucker's 2 for 4 with 2 homers. And I also wrote Walsh is 4 for 6 with 2 homers off Garcia. So I think the Astros, if you want to get crazy, I'm not. The team total 5.5. I think there's just runs here either way, but I think the Astros do the most of it. It's just a big number to take them here.
I find the Astros lately, Connor, here's my issue with them. They seem to have this one big hit or this one big inning.
They have
and then
inning.
the rest of the game, and they're silent the rest of the game. They get shut down.
Yeah.
I find that's been happening to them a lot lately, and and you're not getting a bargain. It's 9.5 at night at Angel Stadium. So I understand the concept of the over. I just at 9.5 at night with Houston can have one big inning and then do nothing the rest of the game. That bothers me a little bit. That's what concerns me here. Sharpie, what do you think here? Astros, Angels.
Hey, chat, without you guys, we're nothing. We got 220, 230 live. Guys, smash that like if you haven't. We're 15 away from 150. Let's get it. But on this game, I was trying to look for some advantages, and I don't see Garcia being this big of a favorite. The few times he has pitched against the Angels, he had one game where he went 5 innings, gave up 3 runs. Every other time it looked like he was out of the bullpen for 1 or 2, nothing more than 2, and he got hit. He gave up home runs. So I'm leaning first 5 over. I haven't bet it yet myself. I need to do a little more digging into it. Garcia's stats at home are way better than on the road. He's got a 2 ERA at home and a 5 on the road. That's another thing why the line is that big. But the few at-bats the Angels have seen him, they've hit him hard, guys, and I mean hard. So I need to do a little more digging into this. Garcia's good at home, but the Angels have hit him in minimal at-bats, and Houston should hit. So I need to bet the over. I just got to go to the window.
All right, we have the Blue Jays and the Mariners now. Final game of this Saturday card. It is a battle of we've got an Asian lefty battle here. Hyunjin Ryu for the Blue Jays and Yusei Kikuchi for the Mariners. We've got Toronto minus 150 road favorites at T-Mobile Park in Seattle. The total in this one is 8.5 across the board. I'm going to get in on the over, I believe, in this game. And you wouldn't think that initially, but Kikuchi has been good. Again, Ryu has been good. I get that. But Ryu got roughed up when he faced Seattle this year. He had a bad start his last time out against the Red Sox. Gave up 7 runs on 10 hits, 3.2 innings, nothing went right. I'm always concerned after a bad start, he can bounce back. He's very capable of doing that. But the Mariners are hitting lefties decently. As of late, they've definitely hit lefties better than righties over the last 10, 15 games. The Blue Jays are mashing lefties. For the year they are, in the last 10 games, they have a 364 team average and 9 runs per game against lefties. This Blue Jays lineup, obviously they had a tough time last night against Flexen, but might have a little bit of an easier time against Kikuchi. And Kikuchi has been good in his last 3 starts, no doubt. You look at his numbers, 0-2 runs allowed in his last 2 starts over 11 innings against the Rays and the Yankees. But at home, his ERA is pedestrian, 4.53 ERA here in Seattle this year, which isn't anything great. And you look at Ryu, each of his last 4 road starts, which obviously this is a road start, have gone over the total. So, a low-scoring game last night, but the bullpens had to use some key relievers. Blue Jays had to use Adam Simber. Blue Jays had to use Brad Hand. I don't think he's a key reliever, though. Brad Hand, he was a good closer 2 years ago. He's been mediocre, inconsistent ever since. Like I said on Twitter, Blue Jays got done in and victimized by a hand job, a dirty hand job last night. By the,
Smash
Seattle,
the like for that right there.
Yeah.
Go.
He couldn't throw a strike, Sharpie. He couldn't throw a strike with the bases.
I was watching it. I never heard him called the dirty hand job, bro, but that's going to be his new name.
There we go. The old dirty hand job got to the Blue Jays, and that's what lost them the game. Blue Jays fans that are feeling bad about the bad call. It wasn't a bad call, I thought. It was a questionable call. It was a controversial call. But I think he did swipe the runner tagging from third at home plate, and that's why I think they made the call out. I think you could have said maybe they shouldn't have overturned it. Not enough evidence. That's what I think it should have been. Not enough evidence, but there was just that little swipe. They thought there was enough there to call it out. That's not the reason they lost. They failed to get the job done with runners in scoring position, and Brad Hand can't throw a strike with the bases loaded. That's why they lost the game last night. So I would lean Seattle. Look, I'm a little bit. I mean, the Blue Jays look overpriced again tonight a little bit. I like the Jays. I cheer for them. I want them to do well, but we're talking minus 150 on the road here in Seattle. That's a little bit of a big price for me. So I'm not betting the side, but I'd lean Seattle a little bit. I will be on the over, though, I think. Full game, 8.5. I think the bullpens could be a little depleted tonight. And you look at it, Ryu got roughed up by Seattle this year. Kikuchi's been a little bit worse at home, 4.5 ERA. I could see this one having a few more runs than last night. So looking toward that over 8.5 tonight, I am, with the Jays and Mariners. Conor Mac, what do you like here?
I don't know with this one. Kikuchi's always got me, befuddle me when I'm on him. He gets rocked. Don't. He pitches well. He pitched well this year against the Jays in that start, and Ryu gave up 4 runs. What was that, July 1st? He only went 4 innings. So I love the Mariners last night. They got it done. They're only plus 125 today. Maybe the Jays can get there. I don't know. It's a game I got to think a little bit more about. So I'm just off right now.
All right. Yeah. Hit the like button. We appreciate it. 230 live viewers. Hit the subscribe button as well. I mean, especially if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button as well. That way you'll be alerted, and hit the little bell icon as well, the notification bell, which means every time there's a live show or a video posted on the channel, you will be alerted and notified. So make sure you do that. It helps grow the channel. Again, great turnout again for this Saturday edition of the show. We appreciate it. Sharpie, what do you like here? Toronto, Seattle.
Man, I'm like with Connor. Kikuchi, man. Fuck, I wish I could read him, man. I think I got a read on him, and I don't. It's like, and Rue, same thing. Losing it with the dono. Good looking out for Ian's dirty hand job comment. That was the best comment of the day. Sheesh. Man, I'm going to have to steal it. But that ain't going to be the first thing I've stolen in my life, guys. So, hey.
Don't give away your secrets now.
Hey, but shout out to the chat. We got there. We did it. I'm off this game. I have no read. It's the last game of the night, guys. Don't go chasing. Like TLC said, don't go chasing waterfalls. Don't chase, dude. If you're losing money, chalk it up. Go tomorrow. Have a great day, fellas. Let's get baked like a cake.
Oh, yeah. Those were my jams back in the day. A little On Vogue, a little TLC, SWV, all those female R&B groups of the 90s. Oh, man. Good times back then. That was there we go. We're getting the up close. There we go. All right. Good stuff. That is the Saturday card. Thank you. And by the way, for the last donation, thank you very much. We appreciate it very much for that. Real Deal Prime. Thank you very much. It's been a great, or losing it, I should say, with the donation. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. That is the Saturday card. Thanks to everyone for joining us. 230 live viewers in the chat on a Saturday, tuning in, watching this show. Man, that's great to see, and we appreciate that. We will get to Best Bets Jack of the Day in just a second, but first, time to hear from our sponsors, Southtown 101 and Manscaped. All right, Southtown 101. Make sure you stop in there. San Antonio, Texas. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke. Southtown 101. Manscaped, promo code PubSports, 20% off your purchase of the Lawnmower 4.0 or any Manscaped product using the promo code PubSports. And MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports. Football season is here. NFL preseason, slew of games today. CFL has started. College football's in a couple weeks. 2 weeks from today, guys, college football kicks off. That is how close we are to that. So Saturday, August 28th, get yourself ready for football season. You don't have much time left. MyBookie.ag, sign up for an account there. Get yourself ready for football season. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit. MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports. This week, Conor Mac and I will begin conference preview videos for college football. We're going to do a video for each Power 5 conference in alphabetical order. Starting on Monday, and we'll gradually post those to the channel. They'll be pre-recorded, and we'll post those to the channel as we do them. We'll do one for each Power 5 conference, and then we'll do one video for all the non-Power 5 conferences. That'll include AAC, Mountain West, Sun Belt, Conference USA. Go on down the list. It'll include all of those conferences. So looking forward to that. Coming up starting this week. We'll get you ready. We'll talk win totals. We'll talk futures to win the divisions, conferences. So check out the channel this week for Conor and I and our college football preview videos. We'll get you ready for the season, which is just 2 weeks away. All right. It is that time of the show. Let's get to it. Time for Jack of the Day.
Well, see you later.
There it is. Jack of the Day time for this Saturday card. Lots to choose from. Let's see. We're going to go a couple different directions. I mentioned Sal Perez against Leicester. We'll go in that direction for Jack of the Day in this game. Muncy and Bellinger, and even Seager, for that matter, of all homered against Taijuan Walker. You can go with that. I like a couple for Oakland. I like the catcher, Sean Murphy, for the Oakland Athletics against Jordan Lyles. 5 for 13 and a home run. We'll go with Sean Murphy there for Jack of the Day candidate. What else do we have here? A couple more. Albies and Duvall against Corbin, worth a look. That's probably something to consider as well. Devers has 2 home runs against Jorge Lopez. Go with that as well. That's about it. We'll stop there. There you go. Home run props for today. Conor Mac, Jack of the Day.
Yeah, I have a couple. Trey Mancini plus 450. He's 10 for 25. 3 doubles, a triple, and a homer off Chris Sale. Think he could get one. You mentioned Seager. I was looking at that one. He's plus 375. The Giants, Posey, he's plus 550, and so's Crawford. He just got paid. He's plus 600. There's a few other guys. Solano, he's 6 for 13 with 2 homers. I don't have a number on him. I'll have to dig that out later. And that's it for Jack of the Day for me.
All right, Sharpie, anything for Jack of the Day? And if not, best bet, which I know is a dirty K prop.
Yes, sir. Jack of the Day, take any Dodgers versus Taijuan Walker. Just run it up, guys. I see a lot of runs. I see 4 or 5 runs off him. So take a Dodger. That's my K prop, guys. I'm going to go Cease over 8.5. It's the biggest number on the board, guys, and I'm not afraid of it, guys. Yankees are striking out only at 25% since the All-Star break. It's still top 5 in the league, but they do not have a lot of at-bats versus Cease. And Cease at home is a way different pitcher than Cease on the road. Cease has a 1.5 K per inning at home and below a 1 per K inning on the road, guys. We got Cease at home. Cease goes 6 inning. He gets us 9, guys, right there. So Cease over 8.5.
Let's go, Maggie.
All right, there you go. All right, Cease. Dylan Cease for the Chicago White Sox. Over strikeout prop for Sharpie with his best bet. Conor Mac, best bet. What do you got for tonight?
Same one. I don't know, maybe the second time. I got to go Dodgers. First 5 half a run. And throw Sharpies. I'm going to probably play it too. The team total over 2.5. You can combo it. But just in case it's a 2-1 or 2-0 game, my best bet, Dodgers first 5 half a run. And throw their team total over 2.5 first 5 as well.
All right, so Dodgers minus.
Adding yours in, Sharpie.
Yeah.
That's side one add in for you.
And liking that first 5 team total with the Dodgers as well. But Dodgers minus
you guys
a
all
half
hear
a
me?
run.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can.
Hey, we got somebody in the chat saying Miggy's going to hit 500 today.
All right. Very
is he one home run away?
See that.
Yeah,
he needs to not
One
press.
home run away. Yep.
He was swinging at dog shit yesterday. Tell him to get one right. Pipe one.
Hey,
Yeah,
I can only channel one a week, man, and this is the one.
Big Show's
Yeah,
calling it.
All right.
He's calling it. Yeah, it depends on who's on the mound. If someone's like really ragged is on the mound for Cleveland, I might bet his home run prop tonight, Cabrera, to get it done. But yeah, you can tell he wants to get this over with. He was swinging it a lot last night that he probably shouldn't have. And you can tell it's a guy that he's anxious, right? He's anxious. He wants to get this 500th home run done and over with. So Conor Mac liking Dodgers -0.5, first 5 for his best bet. Before I get to my best bet, I promised you some NFL preseason. I'm looking at a little bit toward Look, usually you don't go against Mike Zimmer in the preseason for Minnesota, but they got quarterbacks banged up. There's a couple other injuries. There's a couple guys that are dealing with issues. Their COVID list's got a couple guys on it as well. And Denver's got quarterback battles up and down their team right now. The Broncos have taken a lot of money. I understand why. Denver, I think, could be the side in that one. Everybody loves Jacksonville. That bothers me that everybody loves Jacksonville, but it's clear why they do. I mean, Cleveland doesn't give two shits about this game. They're going to be resting a lot of their key guys, and Jacksonville's got a little bit of a good situation here in terms of their quarterback depth chart. And a lot of times the first-time head coach wants to have a good first impression in the first preseason game. So you can understand why Jacksonville's taking on. Baltimore, yeah, you can't argue with Baltimore. They just win in the preseason. John Harbaugh is one of those coaches that cares about winning in the preseason. So I could understand that one as well. I like the Niners a little bit tonight against the Chiefs. Again, Kansas City not putting as much stock into it. Meanwhile, with San Francisco, you've got Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be the starter this season, but Trey Lance is in a quarterback battle for the backup spot going into this season. So quarterback battles in preseason usually are bet on situations. And the Raiders, I think, might be worth a look as well against Seattle. I did like the Chargers initially, too, and maybe I still do. Because Sean McVay just does not care about the preseason. He's done this now multiple years where he does not care about the preseason for the Rams. But the Chargers are looking like they're not exactly all that interested. They have kept a lot of guys at home for this game. So that one I would now stay away from, because as much as I would want to fade the Rams in the preseason, I think that's a good strategy usually. But I don't see a lot of interest and excitement for the Chargers to play this game tonight.
Ian?
And I see a couple of their guys out. So be careful there.
Funny you say that. Who's the new coach of the Chargers? The ex-Rams defensive coordinator.
Brandon Staley. Yep.
Right. So it's funny that you say they're not caring. It's the same philosophy.
Yeah, that's his buddies over there with the
Rams. They have the same mentality.
He's going to go with it. Let's go out and beat the Rams and Sean McVay, the guy that gave me my first look here as an NFL coach. No, of course.
Well, if it worked for him over there with the Rams, I see him using the same strategies over there as being a head coach now. Like, why change stuff that works?
Yeah.
Take the under.
Yeah, exactly.
Take the under.
Yeah,
that's always works in a freaking preseason game.
Especially the first week. Maybe not the third or fourth, but take the unders.
Blindly bet all the unders and see how you did at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? It's funny you mentioned that about the unders. And week one preseason last year was actually an over bonanza, and yet the totals have remained very low. And this year we're not seeing that. Like, we're seeing a lot of unders this week. I mean, you look at the Thursday games, only the Eagle game went over. Last night's games, low scoring, all of them, the 3 preseason games. So it's been under so far this week. So just keep that in mind. We've had mostly under so far. CFL, I like Edmonton, Montreal over the total, and Edmonton a little bit, -4.5, and Hamilton. My Ticats, I got the +3. I mentioned on the Football Frenzy show, CFL, I would be on Hamilton if I got +3 or better. I got +3. That was the line when it opened. It's moved, though, already. It's down to 1.5, but I agree with the move there. So that's my CFL as well. All right, finally now, after all that, best bet for me here in MLB tonight, Royals team total over 4.5. We've cashed a best bet against Leicester with the Royals team total last weekend on Sunday. I'm coming right back to it here. Don't trust the guy one bit going into this game here. He's been awful. The Royals, I think, can do some damage. Keller probably might give up some as well. I would consider, do I do Royals team total over? Do I do full game over 10? I'm going to go with the Royals team total over 4.5, though, for my best bet here in this game. I do like the full game over, though, 10 as well. But we'll go Royals team total over 4.5, a best bet for me on this Saturday card. That'll wrap up this edition of the MLB Closing Time Show. We appreciate everybody for tuning in and joining us on this Saturday. Incredible turnout, over 200 live viewers. We appreciate it. The three of us will be back with you tomorrow. Make sure you don't miss it. Sunday edition of the MLB Closing Time Show, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific, right here on Pub Sports Radio. Join us for that. For Conor Mac, for Sharpie, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Saturday. Let's cash some tickets. Oh, there's a UFC tonight, right? There's a UFC show. Yeah.
No, we did. It was only Bellator and PFL
They're
last
off.
night. No UFC.
Yeah, they're off.
They're off this week. Okay, they're off this week. So there is no UFC stream tonight. But there you go. Well, there's obviously there'll be a bunch more coming up this month. We got college videos for Connor and I this week. Looking forward to that. So make sure you join us for that. Three of us will be back with you tomorrow on Sunday for the MLB Closing Time Show right here on Pub Sports Radio.